knows. My name is Robert. I'm with my pal Paul, and I get to ask him about something that not many people know about. I don't know if he's never been asked, but hey, you put it out there, so I got to follow up on it. You mentioned you were a rapper in the aughts, the 2000s.
Yeah,
Give me, was there a stage name, first of all?
there was, and I don't think I'm going to share that with you,
Okay.
but I do appreciate you asking. There was a stage name, so I'll just, when you're young and you're dumb because you're young, you make choices, and sometimes those choices show up on this video cast, 25 years later. You know what I mean? So,
So
what was the
does your
question?
recruiter follow you online? Is there stuff if people were to find out the name that you won't give away?
So actually, I moved on in my life and I grew up a little bit and I became an educator. So I took all of that stuff off of the internet
Okay.
because as an educator you have a different kind the your perception in the public eye is slightly different, right? So than the average person, I would say. So
Well,
I definitely purged, but the
sure.
internet is forever. So maybe if you look hard enough you could find something like that. um
Purge is such a strong word, and I love it. Um, okay, so here's the thing. I'm a huge hip hop fan from back in the
all right.
80s. I grew up out here in the Bay Area where, there were some originators, guys like Too Short,
Oh
um,
yeah, nice.
Homo sapien. And I mean, further back, I mean, the East Coast rap's what I heard first, of course, Sugar Hill Gang. And then when I heard LL for the first time, blew my mind. So I love all of it. And I'll give away, just to make you more comfortable, I was a rapper too for a minute. So there you
Oh,
go. And
that's why you're interested in this, huh?
I've got a brother.
Yeah, there you go.
Maybe a brother in shame, but a brother nonetheless.
Yeah.
So yeah, it meant a lot to me. It was a minute and all that. But here's what I was going to say. Yes, and here's what I was going to say about that. That there's a lot of different ways of approaching. There is, all the different flavors and varieties. Just because having rap doesn't mean that you're necessarily part of any one side of it or necessarily being a certain way. It's a big tent community now more than ever, right?
Of
Everybody
course.
touched by it in some fashion. Hip hop has grown in incredible ways. I have a teacher friend who used it in the classroom to pretty great effect. I don't know if you've ever heard of him. I forget, what level do you teach?
Well, at this point, I'm adult ed, but for a long time, I taught the middle level, like six, seven, eight.
So he probably just before you. He's really, I mean, third grade is a sweet spot, and maybe you can guess it. He was the rapping mathematician. Uh,
Okay, yeah, I know that. I know
Alex
that.
Gajitani is his
Yeah,
name.
that's
Fantastic
awesome.
person. And he noticed in his classroom that there were these, difficulties with the times table, and certainly identified as an educator, you probably get it. If you don't know
For
your
sure.
times tables, you're not going to know what you need. Your rates of graduation plus getting into college, of course, are way down, and it all goes back to the times tables.
Yep.
So he put out these things, and look at he knows they're pretty goofy. However, for a third grade audience, they're freaking spectacular. And I'll give another thing. I love Schoolhouse Rock. This
Oh
is
yeah.
that kind of vibe. So, and you get me as a musician, right? You're feeling
Of
this.
course, of course. As a matter of fact, I just referenced three as the magic number today. So I
Um,
mean, at work, and with the adult ed. So I totally get it. And it's interesting about those. My wife is an elementary educator. Now she's working for like the
she's
district,
admin.
but
She's the big time.
yes, she's the big time. Like she comes home and she's like gonna tell me her problems, but then she goes, "No, I can't talk about it." No, I'm just kidding. She doesn't do that. But she used to use the math rap. I can't remember what you just called it,
Alex
but
Scott, rapping mathematician. Yeah.
yes, yes, she used to use
Shout
that
out.
in her
Give him more
classroom.
business.
Exactly, it was great. And it's a lot of fun. And you're exactly right. For that age level, it's exactly what they need, and it keeps them engaged. And that level of engagement will raise their awareness in their learning, and it will help them along the road all the way down. You know.
Yeah. You get, this from music. When you get an earworm, you get something hooky, it can just change everything for you. You're learning without knowing you're learning. Learning is a neurologically difficult process. And I'm not going to get too pedagogical here because I have a whole thing on it, but I'll say this much to say too many educators are in that old school militaristic view of I said it, you learned it. And that's just BS to me. So anybody
Yeah.
that brings some creativity and show people there are fun, engaging ways to learn, big ups. I'm a huge fan of.
Exactly. And as an educator myself, it's always nice when you see that light bulb moment. So when you're doing whatever you need to do to connect with that student, whether it be math rap or whatever, it's always it's always my favorite. I would say my favorite thing about education, when you see that light bulb moment when they get it, and I'm like, oh, you get it, and that you've helped them, bridge that gap. I love that. That's awesome.
Can change lives. Absolutely. Thank you for everything you do as an educator, as a
Thank you.
friend, dollar baby brother. And I'm so glad to have met you and look forward to whatever comes next. We're connected now as
Yeah,
rappers.
man.
And
Yeah,
so many
man.
other ways. The shame is out there.
The shame is out there.
At the next convention, they're gonna make us get on stage and do something. So we'll talk about that later.
Yeah, we'll have to write a Stephen King rap, right?
Oh wow! Hey, they had the other guy doing his guitar. Okay, good. Be ready for 2026. All right, Paul. Thanks, buddy.
Thank you.